as you know, I met my legendary brother, Michael Buffer,
Yeah.
when I was 20 years old. We didn't grow up together. We're long lost half brothers. But my dad introduced me to boxing. My dad was a Marine, World War II in Korea, was in the Corps for like 13 years, was a drill instructor at Camp Pendleton, and I learned all my entrepreneurial spirit from my dad. He went on to run Fortune 500 companies and all that kind of stuff. So my brother Brian were watching boxing. I mean, Saturday night was, my mom was great meal in New York steak, baked potato, um, vegetables, and boxing.
Yeah.
I was watching boxing like fresh out of the room.
Who was fighting at that point?
Oh, these are all in the great days, and then you can go back on to the 80s and 90s, Mike Tyson coming out in
Yeah.
86, and then, Michael coming on the scene in the late 80s and realizing, when they put his name on the screen, I go, who is this guy? With the net last name Buffer. Long story cut short, I, would call up the office of Don King and Bob Arum and everybody and asking about him. And finally, I was driving up north with my dad, and I said, Dad, people are stopping me, asking me if this guy's my brother, Michael Buffer, the boxing announcer. He had this whole debonair, great looking, still great looking guy, the James Bond demeanor, the whole bit, changed the whole role of announcing. And they said, is that your brother? And I go, no, my brother's Brian. Brian's my brother I've, grown up with. And I would say no. And they said, Dad, do you know anything about this? And I got this. I think that's your brother. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? I'm
Yeah.
28. What are you talking about? Son, I never told you before I met your mom, or before I married your mom. At 20 years old, I was married briefly, went overseas to do my part during World War II. I came back and a son was born. It was Michael.
Do you want to know why? If you guys have this, you share the same gift. Why he never told you?
No, just one of those things, where I think the last time you saw him was 2.5, a divorce ensued. And I can't question that beyond a certain point. It's just
So
one of
like,
those things.
I guess what I'm saying too is when you're watching Mike Tyson fight, like, did you fall more in love with fighting, or when did you decide I want to be the announcer in the ring?
One little additive to that, when I met Michael, we all got together. My dad called him when he was doing an event in California, and they got together for lunch, turned out to be his son. They got along great. And then we all got together and we all got along great. And then it was basically about 4 years later, I saw Michael growing with the Let's Get Ready to Rumble, and he never even made a hat or a t-shirt, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
And I just realized that, this needed to be trademarked properly, so it couldn't be, totally his. When you trademark something, it's not just in one area, it's in multiple areas. And I was making great money, beach house, the whole bit in the telemarketing industry, but I was burned out on what I was doing. And I just had this epiphany when Riddick Bowe fought Evander Holyfield in 1992 for the first time they fought. I was at the event and I saw everybody go crazy that night, when Michael would go into his rumble, whether it was Hulk Hogan, Jack Nicholson, whatever, just going nuts. And I went back to my hotel room instead of going out in Vegas and doing what we all like to do in Vegas and, party, blackjack, whatever the case might be. And I incessantly wrote 3 pages of notes, trademark the phrase, put them in football fields, basketball, toys, video games, all this kind of stuff I thought I could create and make happen. And I met with Michael and I said, I want to roll the dice. I mean, I'm doing great, but I'm burned out. I mean, I love the money I make and everything, but I want to sell both my companies. I want to quit with the money I have in the bank. I want to be your manager and your business partner and make this 5 words, part of American culture, and build the brand with you and put you in every area of sports and entertainment possible.
Was he doing it at Caesars? Like back in the day when they used to
Oh
fight
yeah, the
Caesars?
Caesars Palace fights, all that.
Yeah.
Michael's the man. I mean, Michael did all the big fights.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
I guess
crazy.
White House is probably going to be the closest thing to like an outdoor, not closest thing, but you don't get the outdoor
The White House is
thing
going to be
anymore.
one of the biggest sporting events of all
It's
time.
the way it's going to be publicized, the people behind it, Dana and his amazing machine, President Trump and all that he wants to put behind it.
Potentially on CBS too.
Listen, I'm a media mercenary. They point, I shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do what I'm told.